Hi everyone, you're currently participating in a focus group where you will be asked questions around the topics of social media, mental health, and cyberbullying. There are no right or wrong answers, just opinion. It's important that everyone can speak and is heard, and everyone's respectful of each other's opinions. All responses are being recorded and uploaded to YouTube as part of the class assignment. Thank you for participating. So we're gonna go around, start with your name, major, and year. So I'll start. My name is Mariame. I'm a senior at BT-214.
My name is Nicole. I'm a chemical engineering major and I'm 505.
My name is Matthew. I'm a chemical engineer and I'm a senior 4.
I'm Dom. I'm a BizTech and I'm a junior.
I'm Elise. I'm a BME and I'm a freshman.
I'm Alex. I'm also a BME and I'm a freshman too.
I'm Sammy. I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm a senior.
I'm Allison. I'm a BizTech and I'm a senior.
I'm Stephanie. I'm BizTech and I'm a senior.
I'm Christy. I'm BizTech. I'm a senior.
All right, so now we're gonna do a little activity. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
You're gonna see picture and just write the first 3 things that come to your mind. So we're gonna start with. Thoughts or final thoughts? All right, do you guys want to go around and say just a few of like your thoughts on each picture? You can start with Nicole.
Yeah. So I'll just go with Instagram as the first one. One of the first words that came to my mind was models, because everyone focuses a lot on like Instagram models and like pictures they see or like how they want to look or how they think they should look.
For Facebook, I thought a lot of like moms. Because my mom like predominantly uses Facebook.
For Facebook, I also thought of old people because my grandparents use Facebook avidly.
For YouTube, I thought of tutorials and things like that.
For TikTok, I put a younger generation.
For Twitter, I mostly thought of it as like funny, and I don't really like tweet myself. Like I don't tweet it all much, but I use it as like my friends and I send the DMs back to each other. So I think that's like the way to use it, but I never really use it.
For LinkedIn, I thought of like Facebook, but for like, business people. Because I guess primarily what it is like working professionals, but it's kind of like a stream like Facebook.
For Instagram, I put likes because I think on Instagram that's what we're focused on, just seeing how many likes people get and wanting to get more likes.
What I said was already said, but also with Facebook, I think it's like now I use more to connect with like family members than some of the other sources.
Thank you all, and you guys can like hop in if you have like any like opinions if you want to add on to what someone says. Okay, so like what apps do you guys like use the most? Like add on the ones that were shown.
I'd say I use Facebook the most, or it's kind of a balance between Facebook and LinkedIn now. as a senior, graduating senior. I guess like Facebook, I just like kind of keep up with more like school-oriented things and like sorority-oriented. And then LinkedIn, obviously like networking and like my career path. So I think I use those ones.
I mainly use like Twitter and Instagram, mainly just to like look at like things I think are funny.
I use Instagram a lot because I find memes and stuff that I think are funny, and also get to see what my friends are posting. But I also use Snapchat a lot because I talk to my friends.
Yeah, I probably would say I use Snapchat the most because it's the easiest way to really communicate with people quickly. And Instagram is also up there in terms of like keeping up with other people who I don't like directly talk to.
I'd say either Snapchat or YouTube, just because Snapchat I like to either like send funny pictures to my friends or just YouTube to watch funny videos.
Yeah. I'd say I use Snapchat most, just to talk to people. And then Instagram or Twitter. And then I've been using LinkedIn more to find a job.
I would say I use Snapchat a lot too for the same reason I like to talk to people. And then I use LinkedIn a lot because I work 2 days a week, and I feel like that's the only acceptable like social media I can go on.
I think that I use Instagram and Twitter a lot for the same reasons everyone else said, just to like send funny things to your friends. And then I think YouTube I use a lot for entertainment purposes, just to watch videos.
I probably use Instagram and Facebook the most, just to like look at things, what people are posting.
Do you guys think social media is helping or hindering you in your life possibly?
I think that it's a net negative. So I think it's hindering us. And you can kind of see it in like our generation versus our parents' generation. Because like when people are making meetings, I feel like it's affected by people on their phones all the time, or just like, hey, can we just do a phone call instead? Because people have trouble like having face-to-face things now. And maybe that's just from phones and technology in general, but I think social media has an impact on that too. Do you got anything?
Yeah, I think definitely affects like our like attention spans and stuff like that. Like a lot of things I don't even like on Twitter or something. If I see a video that's like over like 5 minutes long, I'm not gonna watch it.
I think it's helping in terms of like my family because I have a lot of family in different countries, like in Italy, and I see all what my cousins are doing in Italy, and it's helped me keep like in touch with them. But then again, it's also giving me an excuse to like not actually talk to people and like hide in my phone because I don't really like talking to people.
I feel like for me it's probably more of a negative just from the distraction standpoint. It's a lot easier to like lose track of time on my phone than it is to lose track of time doing homework or something like that.
I personally, I deleted all my social media a while ago, and I actually never felt like mentally healthier. So I feel like it's definitely negative in some aspects, but it does help keep in touch with people. So that's a positive too.
I think personally, it's a negative for me because I am distracted constantly by it. But I do understand the benefits of it. I think it allows people who don't really like have a voice or have like the money to like have certain advertisements to really be able to like have a social media platform. And I also think it's a great way to stay connected and like find opportunities that you wouldn't be able to have otherwise. But I do like check my phone all the time, which is really poor.
I would say like the same thing. It's like whenever my phone buzzes, I like look at it, which is pretty bad if I'm like trying to focus on something. And also like it's a huge time sink, like because like you said, it's just like I could be on my phone for like 30 minutes and not even realize that I've been on it for so long. So I'd say negative.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think it's really fun to be on it and you kind of don't realize how much time you're actually wasting. And I know I'm on my phone like constantly all day. So looking back, I'm like, wow, I could have been a lot more productive with my time. So I think it's a negative for me.
I think it does have a lot of positives, but most people like don't use it for those reasons. It's a lot of the wrong reasons. Like I find myself going from app to app, just scrolling, but I'm not really looking at anything. It's just like force of habit at this point.
Well, thank you. That being said, do you think social media has ever made you feel like anxious, depressed, or like, are you comparing yourself to like other people while using it?
I don't think I've felt those things or felt like I've been comparing myself to anyone, but I do feel like I've had times where I've like scrolled through an Instagram feed and all I've really thought were like negative things, like kind of just bashing other people for what they were doing. And I think it was just like, I don't know, I think it was like some sort of outlet that I was like finding in Instagram to like make myself feel better about things that other people were doing, so I deleted my Instagram for that reason.
Definitely felt like, I guess like miss it, the like FOMO, like just from seeing like other people's like Instagram stories or whatever, and then like I'm not there, like sometimes feel that.
I felt the pressure to like get these social medias, but once I actually got them, I really didn't care much about them. I sort of just used them for the sake of using them.
I feel like for me, it's definitely like seeing something that I wasn't involved in or something like that. That would be the most negative. But I definitely, there have been times where I'll compare, and then other times where I'll like use it to put myself above other people, and then other times where I'll use it to put myself down.
I definitely think I've like put myself or like been down because of a social media post. Like I'll see an advertisement of like, someone in a bathing suit, or like, oh, I want to look like that, or I want to be somewhere where I'm not. But I don't think we should be worried about what other people are doing in life. I think that's a waste of time.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've definitely like looked at other people's things and been like, oh my gosh, like, that's so cool. I'm not doing that. Like I'm working or something. And I think it definitely gets you like down or like, and then to like get yourself back up, you post something, and then if it doesn't get like whatever amount of likes that you want, then you're not satisfied. So it's just like a complete negative spiral. And then you just like end up scrolling through your phone for hours, and then that's not. So I think that, yeah, definitely it's have some like negative impacts on your health, mental health.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think like on Instagram, because it's literally only pictures, it's like easy to compare yourself to people because that's you're only seeing other people like looking their best. But I think like on other platforms like Facebook or I don't know, like Twitter, it's different because it's more like words and content, especially like Facebook. A lot of it is like if someone went to like an event, like it's like a more descriptive thing, you know, whereas Instagram, it's like you just see one picture of like a pretty girl like on the beach or something and that's it. So it's easier to like compare yourself on that.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think it's also easy to forget that, it's also easy, to forget that people literally just post on Instagram like their best moments, right? Like you're never posting when you're upset or anything. So I think it's easy to compare yourself to other people on Instagram. And yeah, that definitely has a negative impact, and yeah, I would just have to agree overall.
Yeah, nothing too new. Like I agree with what everyone's saying. Like you're seeing everyone's best thing. I think it's like sometimes you don't realize, or you're not like when you're seeing it, you don't think that they're all like showing their best selves, and like I think you get like a bit of a warped vision of how things actually are.
Do you guys feel like the ones that do have social media platforms? Do you feel that there's pressure with like posting, like so people know like what you're doing? While using social media, like to keep like your followers engaged with you?
I think there's definitely a pressure, not that everyone feels it, but if there were someone that like hadn't posted in a year or two, obviously their friends are gonna be like, oh, like you haven't posted, like let's go with that, even though like you know what I'm doing every day, like why do I need to post about it?
Yeah, I don't really post that much, but I think there definitely is a pressure to post. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I don't really enjoy posting photos, but yeah, I think most of the time I do it just because of like everyone else is or something like that.
I feel like guys and girls have a different pressure put on them to post. As a guy, every time I do post something, I lose like a consistent amount of followers. And that kind of hurts my self-esteem, no doubt. It's not like it's kind of like now I'm more scared to put myself out there because of it.
I think for me, posting wise, there's not that much pressure, but something like Snapchat streaks can be a pressure. Just like keeping up the streaks, which I've kind of grown out of, but there was definitely a time and place where I was like, oh my gosh, like gotta keep the streak alive. But in terms of like posting and putting myself out there, I feel like it's more of like a positive outlet for me, in which I'm like excited to share things that I've been doing versus like feeling obligated to do so.
Yeah, I'm more like, here, like an example, like, I used to tweet all the time. And I thought it was the funniest tweet ever, but when it got 0 retweets, then I would delete it. So I feel like there's definitely pressure at every platform.
I think especially on Instagram nowadays, girls at least are super into like making their Instagram like look nice, like aesthetically pleasing. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I post something that like fits the aesthetic, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. But like, what the heck does it matter? It's such a weird thing that like, even if like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but you like look at your Instagram and like in a mindset of like, if I were somebody else looking at mine on Instagram, what would they think that I look like? And like, you're wasting your time. And it's just very strange. I don't know, it's weird. There's pressure.
I feel like I don't really feel a lot of pressure to like post stuff on social media because I feel like on social media I try to keep it like lighthearted and like not take myself super seriously because I feel like if I do start taking myself super seriously then that pressure would come to like keep up like an image, but I feel like I don't really have like a particular image because I just like post stupid stuff. So yeah.
I personally don't feel like a pressure to actually post because I feel like I enjoy what I'm posting. Like I do care about like what you said, the whole aesthetic thing, and like, but I don't feel like, oh my god, I need to post like every day. Like I just do whatever I want because I want to do it.
And then when you post it and it's like pretty, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm happy about it, but I'm not like. I'm not counting the days, you know, like, oh, I need to post like every other day, like, so I don't feel pressure in that sense, or like, if I haven't posted in a month, like, whatever, who cares, but
I'm saying I feel pressure to like
make it look nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I go into VSCO before I post every picture and edit it so that's the same color.
So it's the same like aesthetic of the rest of it.
No, I wouldn't call that. I don't know if I would call that pressure though. I feel like for me,
I want to do it
like
for
I'm
myself.
not. Yeah. I don't know.
So is my own pressure doing
Maybe.
it? Or like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Just a perfectionist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I could care less what someone thinks.
I don't care what other people think,
but I want it to look good.
Cute.
Yeah. I feel you.
I personally don't feel much pressure because I never post anything like at all, but like I just like not super into that, so I don't, but I definitely see how there can be.
Has using social media ever affected your sleep and staying up?
I was gonna say no, but definitely.
I definitely think so.
No doubt. You get on, like, you just start and then you just don't finish until like an hour later. You're like, damn, where did that time just go?
Yeah, like what I mentioned earlier about how like it's so much easier to lose track of time, especially when it's late and there's no like once the lights are already out and there's literally nothing to like keep track of time. So for sure.
I don't know, I set a time limit on my phone. Like I have like 2 hours set on all social media so that I can't go over it, and like a little time symbol comes up and says like stop using it now.
I have that too, but that doesn't stop me.
Exactly. Like I'm just like remind me later.
Like, do I want like
I'm like snooze, like
I feel like that helps me sort of.
When I plug my phone in to charge it, I put it on like the other side of my bed so that like I can't just like have it in my face while it's charging. It also helps me wake up in the morning, or else it's like supposed to actually like get out of bed. So that's kind of a good way to like be able to not. But if I didn't do that, like I'd 100% be like stuck scrolling. And that's like so consistent.
My mom like told me one time that I fell asleep with my phone was in my bed, and she thought it was like the weirdest thing that I literally like just slept with my phone in my bed.
Everyone does that now.
Yeah, and my mom like was literally so freaked out by it. She was like, "Why are you sleeping with your phone?" Like, and I was like, "I don't know. I just like fell asleep." But like after she said that, I try to like not like once I put like my phone like on my desk, like I try to like not have it in my bed because my mom would be subconscious because she was like, but she like leaves her phone in the car overnight. Like she has no idea where it's
My mom sleeps with her phone in like a completely different room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, it's
My
literally true.
alarms.
Like I don't know how. Yeah.
I literally.
No, I agree. I feel like that's the last thing I do before bed. Like, I actually fall asleep, like, scrolling. Like, I'll wake up the next morning and I'm like, whoa, like, that's what I was doing. So yeah, it definitely affects sleep.
Yeah, I think it's so easy to get like sucked in and just like keep scrolling, especially like, I don't know, when you're tired, you're not even like looking at anything, you're just scrolling.
Do you guys think you made friends through social media? Like, have you ever met someone and then like hung out with them because you met them like through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc.?
I would say Tinder is really the only one, but not like I didn't like find someone on Facebook and meet up with them. I don't know about anyone else.
I don't think ever like exclusively on social media.
I think Snapchat has helped me with that. I think I've made a couple friends through Snap, but that's pretty much it.
Like only on Snap, like I've never met a real person.
I met them. I would meet them once, and then I get them on Snap. And
Yeah, but you
talk
met them in real life.
I guess so. Like all of the meetings would facilitate through Snapchat. It would be through chats and stuff.
I think for me, like most of them are people that I knew of, but I wasn't really friends with, and then through social media, I was able to like actually develop a relationship. So I guess if that counts as like meeting someone, and like in terms of like building a relationship with them, then yes.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Ubu. I actually met someone, like one of my friend's cousins on Ubu, who lived in Florida. He actually like flew up to New York, and I met him. That's actually, yeah. He was really cool. I didn't see him after that one day. I've never met anybody on social media. I don't think. Yeah.
I don't know. I just have never.
I don't think I've ever met like anyone just through social media, but like what they were saying, like it's definitely facilitated like the growth of a friendship. Like if I don't really know someone, it's snap them or something like that, and then I see him out and it's like, oh, we've been talking, you know.
Actually, more on that like reminded me. Real things that people say are like, oh, like she follows me on Instagram, like I have to wave hi to her.
Yeah.
So I think that.
Yeah, I would have to say, like, I think someone said this, that it's people that you know of or have mutual friends, and then you develop that relationship through social media, or you know them in the past. But yeah, I think facilitates growing a friendship.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I don't think I've made friends with anyone on social media, but maybe like someone you don't really know that well, and then they follow you, you follow them, and like you're like, oh, okay, like helps you put the name to the face, and like maybe the next time you see them, like it's not as weird. But
Do you guys think there's any relationship between social media and cyberbullying?
I mean, no doubt in my mind. It's cyber. I think that's like the best way for people to bully, and it's the easiest way because you're trapped behind a screen.
Yeah, I think that's where like cyberbullying happens. I don't know.
100%. It's all anonymous, basically. Like you can just be another person who's completely hurting this other person's feelings, but you don't actually get any repercussions because of it because you're behind the screen.
Definitely what everyone else has been saying about not having to be held accountable, but also like social media kind of can break down our privacy as a whole, and so that might open up more ways for them to bully you about, like giving them options.
yeah, I agree, but I also think you have to learn when to walk away from it too. Like if you let yourself like care that much, you like get so absorbed in it.
Yeah, I think it definitely is, and I think I completely agree with what you were saying, that you need to know when to walk away. But I think kids, like as younger and younger kids start to have social medias, I think they aren't mature enough to know when to walk away. So it kind of lets it fester for them, which is really rough. So I think it's important to like keep kids away from social media until they're like mature enough to actually have that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think like it makes it easier like when people are constantly like posting everything that they're doing, because it kind of is like giving bullies something to talk about, you know, whereas before it was like, how would they even know what you were doing unless you were kind of like rubbing it in their face, you know, like going here and here. So it's like people who get like jealous or whatever just have like more of an opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
Question.
No, I definitely agree. I think it just makes it so much easier for a bully to attack anyone that they want to, because they don't have to actually confront them face to face. So it's just, social media is an easy outlet to attack anyone you want to.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it is so much easier. And like, it reminds me of like, I think it was like in middle school. So it was like form spring. Like, I remember like, it was like, because it was like anonymous things that you post on people's wall. And I remember like my school getting involved. Like, it was awful things, but like nobody even know who said them. Like, it was just so easy to like say whatever you want to anyone.
Thank you guys. How many of you like know someone that is like has like a mental disorder, or, like has like been like a victim of cyberbullying? Like, you guys know anyone, and like, do you think that social media affected that?
It's hard to say. I mean, I would say yes. I definitely know someone or people that have. And I just think generally social media doesn't help.
Can't think of anyone right now, but I definitely can see how that would affect that.
Personally, I have not been affected by it, and a lot of my friends have, but there definitely are people that have been that I don't know.
Yeah, like I had a friend with like an eating disorder, and things like that definitely made it worse than it had to be.
I don't know anyone with disorders or anything, but I know like I've gotten like threatening messages online that I had to like just not answer.
Yeah, a bunch of people suffer from like anxiety or depression, like even if it's like acute. But I think that social media definitely like escalates that because it's like a way for you to like have like acceptance from society, and when you don't have that acceptance through like likes or posts or whatever, it kind of escalates how you view yourself, if it's bad, or I guess in their case. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like I know like some younger girls who are kind of just like very obsessed with social media to a point where like that's all they think about, which can obviously like give them anxiety and make them feel bad about themselves, just because it's hard for them to like step back from it, because I really don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I don't personally know anyone, but like everyone here said that they know of, or so I'm sure there's definitely people that have been affected by it.
Yeah, same. And like, I think social media just doesn't help. And I think like sometimes people just don't realize how like unhealthy it actually is, and like can't remove themselves and like keep themselves in an unhealthy cycle.
So this is the last question. What are some ways social media can change to help reduce the effects that it has on people?
I don't know. I can't come up with anything. But
Like, did you hear that Instagram was like taking away likes? Like, it might take away likes.
I think that's a great idea.
oh, I do think that's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea because I think likes have really controlled how people present themselves on social medias. And I think that it's changed people's personalities in total because they felt like they needed to change in order to get more likes.
Yeah, I don't get all of it, so.
But I feel like there will always be that aspect on Instagram where like a girl sees a girl that like looks good and she's like, oh my god, why don't I look like that? And I don't think that'll ever go away, really.
I think people need to know when to like just walk away and like put it down. Like social media, they can only do so much to make it better. Like, it's up to the person.
And I also think that like comparison will always happen. Like if it wasn't social media, it'd be like looking at a model in a magazine. Like you compare yourself to that girl or whatever. So I think that will always happen no matter what. But I do really like those are taking away likes. That's awesome.
Yeah, I could see that as a benefit, especially because I think it'll bring back Instagram back to what it was like originally intended for, which was like just posting pictures of things that you like without like having people worry about how many likes you have. So I could see that. Okay, well, thank you all for participating. We really appreciate all your opinions and thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.